I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to my channel called Listen, Learn, and Grow. Now, as I promised in the previous videos concerning summer vocabulary, the last one will be dedicated towards the learning of summer idioms. Before that, we will have a look at the definition of an idiom, the difference between literal and figurative meaning, and finally, we'll learn some summer idioms. Right, let's start with the first element. What is an idiom? An idiom is an expression, just a group of words, and this expression has a fixed order. What does it mean? It means that you cannot change the order of the words in that expression. For instance, let's take the one below. A piece of cake. That's an idiom, by the way. When you say piece of cake, this is a group of words, right? It's just an expression with fixed order. I can't change the order of these words. I can't say a cake piece. No. Good. Now, what is the purpose of this expression? So, an idiom basically conveys a particular meaning. In other words, a figurative meaning. What does that mean? When you say a piece of cake, there are two meanings in this expression. There is the literal, also called the original meaning of these words, which is a piece of cake, like in the picture in the left. And when you take it as an idiom, it has a different meaning from the original meaning of the words, of the individual words, piece of cake. When you say, oh, it's a piece of cake, what you are actually saying is that that task, particular task, or that activity is quite easy. So, an idiom is an expression which presents a figurative meaning. So you have to somehow deduce the intended meaning of the expression of these words, because it's quite different from the meaning from the literal meaning. Right, to understand better this idiom, let's imagine a situation. Let's say there are two classmates who just got out of an exam, and one is asking another, "Hey Laura, how was the exam?" Laura answers, "Oh, it was a piece of cake." What Laura is actually trying to say is that the exam was really easy. Good. Now I hope you got I hope you understood the definition of an idiom and the difference between literal and figurative meaning. Let's take a look at another example. That's another idiom, okay? She has cold feet, or he has cold feet. This expression, this idiom, what is actually trying to tell us is that this person is nervous. She suddenly feels frightened to do something. She's not, this idiom is not telling us that a person has, for real, has cold feet like the picture in the left. The idiom tells us something else. Let's grab the example in the middle picture. The groom, by the way, the groom is it's the husband. So at a wedding, we have the bride, which is the one about to get married, who wears the white dress, and the husband, called the groom. Now, the groom got cold feet on the day of the wedding. What we are actually trying to say is that he suddenly got nervous and freaked out. Okay? So this is what an idiom tells us. And here lies the difference between literal, the original and figurative meaning. Somehow it's hidden, it's implied. The third and last example to better understand difference between literal and figurative. Let's take the idiom bite of more than you can chew. Right. Now, when you say bite of more than you can chew to somebody, you're telling him that he's trying to do something far more difficult for him. And sometimes if you take a look at the literal meaning and not the figurative, there is some kind of, relation, because it's true, when you take a big bite, you can't chew because you took more than it's needed for you to chew it. So there is some slight, relation between the literal, original, and the intended or implied meaning. Good. Now let's move on to, what you need to know about idioms. Now, these expressions, they exist in every language. But the thing is that they cannot be translated. You just can't translate idioms. You want to know how to learn them? Well, that's easy. Well, the easiest way to learn them is, of course, to pick them up. It's somehow to learn them through exposure to the language and its culture. Either, by after living with a certain group of people for a particular period of time, or by watching movies and listening to music. Or you can simply, just like here, watching videos and learning about them in Google. Now, let's have a look at summer idioms, which is the purpose of this video. Let's start with the first one, chasing rainbows. This idiom, by the way, those who don't know what is a rainbow, I just put a picture on the right, and it's those lights, those colored lights that appear when it's a sunny day and at the same time it starts raining. So this is rainbow. Yes, this is rainbow. When you say to somebody, girl, you're chasing rainbows, what you're trying to tell her is that you're trying to achieve something that is not possible or not practical. Now again, if you take a look at the original meaning of the idiom chasing rainbow, I mean, you can guess the figurative or the intended meaning, because we can't actually chase rainbows. You can't even touch them, you can't reach them. So chasing rainbows, trying to do something which is, somehow impossible. Second, come rain or shine. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. When we say summer idioms, it just means that these idioms are composed of words or contain vocabulary that is related to summertime. It doesn't mean that these idioms, the meaning of these idioms is related to summertime. No, the meaning is different. It depends on each and every idiom. Okay? Good. Come rain or shine. This expression means that you will do something whatever happens. It just shows, the determination of somebody to keep a promise or to reach their goals. So you don't care if it's raining or it's unpleasant outside. You will do what you intended to do. Now, to understand better this idiom, I have chose there's a movie, scene with a girl singing it. you will understand better, because that way it's contextualized. Have a look at the video. It's really funny, but cute because it's a romantic, song. Right. Three, fresh as a daisy. A daisy is a type of flower. It's this one, this yellow and white. It's really beautiful one, isn't it? So when you say fresh as a daisy, we usually use it when somebody just got out of bed and spend a good night of sleeping and looks very energetic, full of energy and looks healthy. So you say, Hannah, you look fresh as a daisy. Honestly, I rarely look fresh as a daisy. I rarely wake up fresh as a daisy. But at least you know the expression. Okay, head in the cloud. I think this one, some of you already know it, but it's okay. We'll talk about it. Head in the clouds. This is usually, used in classroom, teacher, student circumstance where the student is not quite paying attention. So the teacher tells him, Alan, could you repeat what we were talking about? And Alan is like, so he's like, he doesn't know because he had his head in the cloud. And the teacher is like, you've got your head in the cloud again. So we use it to describe people who are not paying attention to what's going around them, because they are spending, their time daydreaming and thinking about, having unrealistic thoughts. So he's just not focusing. Okay, let's move to the fifth one. A fair weather friend. A fair weather friend is a friend. So fair actually means nice. A nice weather, okay? But the meaning is not what you, I think it's not what you expect. A fair weather friend is a friend who is only here when it suits them. Who are only here when it suits them. Who are only here when you are having a good life, when everything is going well. But whenever you start facing troubles and challenges or difficulties, bam, they disappear. And they're nowhere to found. So this is a fair weather friend who sticks around only when things are going well. Well, a real friend should be there for you. Whatever happens, when you are having a stable life and when you are facing troubles or difficulties. So be careful from these fair weather friends. 6, I love this one. A social butterfly. I personally am a social butterfly. What do we mean when we tell somebody you're a social butterfly? So, as we know, butterflies, they gather around flowers, they go from one flower to another, so I think you can guess the meaning of social butterfly. It's used to describe somebody who just loves the company of others, and he or she loves socializing, being around people, and it's so easy for him to go from one person to another. So usually these people are famous, like they know everybody knows them, they love everyone, like most of people love them, so they're social butterflies. I think there's a meme, right, this one. So as you see, you can have some time to read it if you want, but I can read it. Okay, so hey, what's up? So you can see the one with the what's up is like everywhere in this meme. and she knows everybody, so obviously they deduced that that girl is a social butterfly. I don't know if it's the... no, it's not the last one. Summer fling. Tell me in the comment section if you remember your summer fling, or if you had one at all. So summer fling is a brief, you know, like romance that you kind of experience during summertime, which it's not really, you know, serious, just for fun. I mean, as soon as summer ends, bam, you forget that person. So tell me in the comment section, okay? Don't forget. 8. Full of hot air. This idiom is used generally to describe politicians because they are just unbelievable. Their sayings is simply full of, I mean, their sayings are simply full of nonsense, and you just can't, you know, trust what they say. You can't believe what they say. So whenever, I don't know if you can relate to any person in your, I mean, of your surroundings, or a relative who's full of hot air, you can never trust them, you can never believe what they say, just full of nonsense. And we have 9. Money doesn't grow on trees. Sadly, there are no trees that you can pick, you know, money from. Hence, the idiom is telling us to be careful when spending money, since it doesn't, I mean, it's not earned that easily. Okay, and 10. Catch some rays. I think we've already talked about this one in the second video. Right, so catch some rays or soak up some sun. So it's approximately, these have the same meaning. What they mean is to lay, if you say that, oh my god, it's such a beautiful day, it's such a sunny day, I'm gonna catch some rays. I'm heading to the beach, I'm gonna soak up some sun. So what you're trying to say is that you want to lay in the sun, in the sun, and enjoy the feeling of the sunlight or the sun rays in your skin. You know, that warm sun, those, you know, warm sun rays in your skin. And you're also trying to get tanned. That's when your skin, you know, becomes brown or darker. You know, it has this caramel like color, beautiful caramel color. So it's almost, no, it's not almost, it is. I think summer just ended, but I mean, we can still soak up some sun. You can still enjoy that, you know, warm, those warm sun rays. Okay, we have reached the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, and please leave comments. I want to know your opinions about the video. Tell me if you have learned anything at all, and give me some feedback. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.